Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Caffeine Encrypted, and today we're having a look at New Cycle. The full game has finally released on the 18th of January, and I remember playing the demo for this one, and I was quite intrigued by its game mechanics. It's like a mix of Frostpunk with Anno, with a little bit of bunnies and a few other things. So I'm really curious to see what they've done with the game. So let's delve right into it. We're gonna start a new game. We're gonna go for the campaign. The story mode, presenting all the mechanics and tribulations that can be experienced in the dynamic universe of New Cycle. Perfect. We have the three maps, Meadows, Tundra, and Steppe. So my understanding is the maps are static, they are always the same. The things that change is how difficult they are, how much land you have to settle, and stuff like that. In this case, we're gonna go with the meadow, since this is our first attempt at the game. Less settlable land, rich agriculture and water resources, rich forest resources. Start. Okay. Here we are. Let's set the speed to 0.1. Interestingly enough, when the game is paused, you cannot really do anything. So, first step, choose a location. We reached this unknown land after a long journey. It seems isolated and safe. We hope it will offer enough resources for a new start. Choose the most suitable spot to settle in the area and guide us to set up our base camp. Let's begin. So first you want me to set up a main hall. Let's see. So here it's very rocky. Here we have a bunch of resources we will take advantage of. So I'm thinking I'll probably set this up somewhere around the middle. So let's say around here. Let's leave some space for some roads. Okay, let's increase the speed. Welcome to the new cycle. You're now the governor of this little community. It's been nearly half a century since the first solar flare. In the initial moments of the catastrophe, we lost our entire technological infrastructure, our means of global sourcing, and almost everything that we can share as a civilization. The following years were humanity's darkest, having to wrestle with coastal impossibility and despair. From battles fought with sticks and stones to nuclear wars, we ended up destroying ourselves what little the sun had left for us, and civilization fell. Everyone here was born into this new world, and you have to be their leader. Our current flimsy shelter can't carry us far. We must rebuild everything from scratch with the efforts of those who remain, so we can establish a sustainable way of life. We need to rediscover our lost knowledge and explore our surroundings to create new possibilities. Most importantly, beyond merely surviving, we have to find a way of securing our next generation, by whose time the world may not be habitable anymore. We don't know how we can preserve life as we know it, but we can at least help build something that we may call home. We're gonna go with a tutorial, so the game will give us a little bit of a direction of how to get started. Chief, living so long as nomads, we feel ready now to build simple shacks at the least. If we want to settle down here, we'll need more durable shelters, workplaces and storage depots. And for that we need to get our hands on a bunch of local resources. We can get started by collecting whatever's around primitive structures made of logs and stone will do for a start. We can gather this by building a field camp close to the forest and rock formations. Okay. So let's get a field camp. We want stone, wood, and eventually we're gonna need that iron as well. So I'm gonna place one of you here and a second one somewhere here, just so I can have a little bit of an overlap. All they cost at this point, I believe, is logs, which we have a good amount of. Let's speed up a little bit. So we have three classes of workers. We have worker, craftsman, and specialist. The higher you go, the more demands they have, and the more advanced items they require. So we're doing a little bit of building here. Okay, Okay, now this has the ability to accommodate up to 12 workers, 3 for every option. In this case, we're gonna use 3 for wood and 3 for stone. And I'm gonna do the same because I'm double dipping on that. So the games want us to produce a few logs and some stone. Roads, which happen to be my favorite, cost lumber and stone, and we cannot make lumber just yet. Okay, step 1 complete. After a promising start, Chief, we may now go on gathering nearby resources for a while. We should focus on producing more complex materials by processing the raw ones. Our settlement can develop as far as the limit of our knowledge and production. We can create flexible and processable constructions or objects through woodworking. So, time to make a lumber mill. And let's get a lumber mill. And for now, let's squeeze you right here. So we produce 18 logs a day and 14 stone a day, which is a good amount. Early on, at least. Now, there are some finite resources and some infinite resources in this game. And they change based on every year. So we have the projected renewal rate of resources for next spring based on precipitation. So in this case, we're not gonna get any, which is horrible. Okay. Production buildings are the most important sector of the city. You can choose the product you want the current building to create here. A building can only create one type of product at a time. You can activate the building by selecting the product you want to produce. You can also access production information and rates by hovering over the mouse over the product icon. The amount of resources and time required for production are calculated dynamically. The general efficiency value of a building operating class affects this variable positively or negatively. In addition, the workforce value determines the speed of production according to the required amount of working people. In addition, these two variables are affected by technological development, societal events, and environmental factors. Labor. Certain classes of society become the operating labor force of certain production buildings according to their abilities. Some buildings require cooperation from other classes, besides the operating class. Status notification. These are instant notifications about the status of the selected structure. So in this case, the game tells us, hey, you have no people working here, so here, take 5 people. And it says, yep, this multiplied by your workforce, it's 100, but you lose 30%. Well, 30. In this case, 30% efficiency because you have no road connection. We need to take care of that. So let's build a little road. Oh yeah, and let's select lumber. Good. So yeah, that goes down to 70. So 1 tile of road is 1 lumber and 2 stone. That's a very expensive road for a dirt road, but sure. Here we have our camp name, so let's name it CE Landing. Because why not? And to reach the next tier, the next age, we need 700 knowledge and 35 people. We have the people, we are slowly accumulating the knowledge. We get 35 knowledge from our population every single day. This will go up the more population we have and the more specialized population we have. Okay, so that's up to 100, so this is working at an optimal situation. I should probably get a road going for these guys. So let's do that. Oh yeah, and if you want to continue building the same thing, like most games of its nature, just hold Shift, and then it will allow you to do the same construction item again. Step 2, complete. Every operation is harder to perform in a settlement without roads. Connect all buildings in our settlement with a road network will convenience the workplace and the circulation of raw materials greatly. While not mandatory for other operations, road construction is a prerequisite for building infrastructure such as bridges and tunnels. Makes sense. But I'm way ahead of you, game. Now, you consume. So you produce... Okay, here is the production. So, every 3 hours, you produce... Why is your efficiency so low? Oh, because the efficiency of the people is low. So you produce 14 a day, and you consume 6 every 3 hours. That's the maximum. No, that's how much you produce. Yeah, well, but the production is 1-to-1, right? Yes. You use 1 log to create 1 lumber. Okay. Do you not have the road? You do have the road. Well, let's do that. Oh, maybe you needed it based on the orientation. That makes sense. And if we mouse over here, we're gonna see our production per day, dynamically, which is calculated as we go. Source of life. People are the most significant resource for our settlement. We must respond to a wide range of demands, from basic to costly. We have to set up a self-sufficient system to meet our basic requirements. We can start by constructing a well to meet our needs for clean water. Hint: primitive wells will help to meet our clean water need, however, they can be affected by the seasonal changes, and some might even run completely dry or freeze over. Okay. Water. A very scarce resource, and a very, very important resource. So here you're gonna have 2 connected nodes, here you're gonna have 3. Let's go with the 3, because why not? And can I put an extra one just to play it safe? You only have a single one, those 2 are a bit far, but it doesn't matter because they don't really need people to operate. So let's place you here, and then let's get a road connecting here to get the maximum benefit. And same with this. You are already connected to a road. Good stuff. 100% efficiency since you don't people, so you produce 96 a day because of the 3 nodes, and you will produce... we will find out. When they get to it. Oh, hi. Daily bread. Now that we have access to water, we are only 1 step short of calling this place home. A life without the worry of hunger will turn us into a real society. Although we don't have yet enough resources for hunting, farming, or animal husbandry, our experience in staying alive by living off the land may come in handy. Lots of easily found edible mushrooms are scattered around. We should build a gathering camp and start stockpiling food. Okay. So, go resources, gathering camp. Now, they did say we cannot get that stuff. So what I'm gonna do, I have you guys only collect mushrooms. Or I'm gonna set it this way so we can get a bit of everything when the time is right. Yep. And then let's get the road. Perfect. And we will see if 1 is enough or we need more. Water is going up, happy times, so you produce 96 as well. I wonder how that calculation works, or is that just how many resources are available? If I put a second one next to you, what will happen? Okay, there is nothing because this one is tapping both of them. Immigrant group. The more our settlement grows, the more attention we'll get from passers-by. And the more people will be willing to join us, the more frequently and in larger groups. Yes, you can join us. But 2 people. 2 times. And summer is ending of the first year. Oh, precipitation is changing. So we suspect severe drought. Okay. And here we have a ruined lighthouse. I think it's a lighthouse, or it looks like one. Yeah, 100% it's a lighthouse. So I guess this will come into play later on. Okay. Still collecting some knowledge. Let's have a quick look at overview. So we have no effects. Here we can see our available discovered resources. So logs, mushrooms, meat, fish and water are renewable. Iron is not. Copper and tin and coal, and neither is crude oil. So we'll need to be very careful. This is how many cemeteries we need, maintenance, rainfall. Interesting. That's a lot of negatives, which we will fix. And here are all of our people. Oh, is that historical? High disease. Interesting. Structure overview, materials input, output, and balance. Okay, so this is a good way to see where our balance is problematic, like here. Simple meals are problematic. We're not producing enough. And then we have regions, which we will find by scouting. But we are a little bit away from that. So, are you ready? Where is it? With Alt, you can toggle those views. There you are. Please collect mushrooms. Bring all the mushrooms. Okay, there's no more stone here. I'll take those guys away. Yeah, we consume the stone very, very fast. Well, that works. This building has been operational for 15 days, which means we have all the items they need. The time has come to cook some proper meals. People eating whatever they have on their plane doesn't mean they're happy with it. When there is nothing to eat, they will get demoralized, sick, and maybe even fall into the jaws of death. From now on, food needs to be kept fresh and distributed while it's hot. So, research basic construction and build a soup kitchen. So to get into the knowledge tree, we go here, and we get automatically the establishment, which gave us the field camp, gathering camp, road, lumber mill, and well. And we need to research the basic construction. It will give us a stockpile, a soup kitchen, and the ability to make simple meals. This is how much research we need to have. We don't actually spend it, because it's just cumulative. It will take us 24 hours, and it will cost us 24 lumber. That's fine. To my knowledge, you cannot queue research. You always have to come back here and do it. And then this is locked behind the different cycles, so you cannot see what's there later on. So we will do living standards later, and it has a prerequisite, which is basic construction. So after this one is done, we're gonna go to the next one to make them some housing. Speed up a little bit. Storage is almost full, we'll need to take care of that as well. And development is complete. Let's select living standards as well, just to get some time. And soup kitchen. So I do want this to work on a grid. The placement doesn't matter that much at the moment. So for now, just go here. And let's build a stockpile as well, because we're gonna need it. And I'll just place it next to the lumber mill. Under construction. And the research is complete. Cool. So we're gonna make this, and we can make it either with mushrooms and water, fish and water, meat by itself, or veggie stew. So each one of those produce 8. We only have mushroom and water, so that's what we're gonna work. Oh, I like that this shows us our current food stock. That's interesting. Take people. And they only produce 2.4 because of their efficiency. Inventory is full.
We're proud of you, the innocent.
Oh, you can see what these guys individually have to say. Low morale. I'm gonna fix that. Don't worry. Here is the storage limit for everything. You can always customize it. And I like that they separate it to consumables, craftable, and construction. We must closely monitor the community situation needs, morale levels, and all related factors. We must try to reach the best possible outcomes in our affairs and adapt according to uncertainties in order to maintain a healthy and content society with what we have. In a badly managed community, unrest, disease, and death, and disintegration will quickly take hold. Player population management. Okay. Well, let's look over here. Here you can view the overall status of the community in detail. The more important element in the management of a settlement is its people. Try to meet all their needs and keep variables such as morale and efficiency as high as possible. Meet the daily supply distribution needs according to your settlement's production capabilities in a sustainable manner. In a society whose needs are met, breeds high motivation, good health, and uninterrupted work. We're gonna work really good. Our society consists of 3 basic classes. Members of each class must work as a pioneer in their respective field, but production buildings may need multiple classes to work simultaneously, according to the building's level of development. You can follow the population numbers and distribution of each class here. Only adults can be recruited as workforce, children sick and retired cannot work, but they will still need certain resources. So we can manage how much they use, and based on that it will be calculated how efficient they are and how long they work. So workforce is 1 means they will work regular hours, 1.5 they will work overtime, and this will give them a penalty to their morale. So in this case, since we have food to give them, let's go regular, and water, let's go regular. So that should fix their morale a bit, and this is how much they need, 30 a day and 111 a day. So it's roughly 37 people, so it's roughly 1 food per person and 3 water per person. Okay. 80. Supply and demand, saturation distribution to regular, which we've done, and maintain it for 2 days. Easy peasy. And here we can see their morale, so 30 is their morale. And it's calculated every day at 6 AM. Ah, you can make it to be day, night, visibly at least. Interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. Last step. A place to track everything about our settlement and your people. View the overview panel. Health is subject to what we should pay the most attention to. Of course, we need people to stay alive. And here's what we checked earlier. Okay. Tutorial complete. Perfect. Now let's start getting into the swing of things. New cycle. We unlock the tavern, forge, smith, windmill. We can collect meat, fish, leather, iron ingots. Well, make iron ingots, basic tools, and iron ore. Okay. Which is all locked behind research. So, can I research anything? I can research hunting, but I don't have tools. I can research metalworking, which I think will be the first thing we need to do. And then, yeah, and then power, because we need the iron ingots. So we're gonna start with metalworking, get the iron ingots, and then go with the rest. So, start research. This is not unlocked yet, but it will be soon. We collect that. And let's give them some housing, shall we? Now, I don't have any idea on what's the optimal layout, so we're gonna test something. Also, how many people do you store? Up to 10, okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's give them some room for expansion. So that should accommodate 80, which we should reach relatively easy, I would think. Okay. They cost a lot of stone, but that's not a problem. Since I have available workers, I can put another field camp. There is more iron here. Is there any stone I can grab? Take that. And I will only use the stone from this. So I won't have the stone because they will use it for the buildings first. So I need to wait for a bit. Okay. That's unlocked. Smith iron ingot. Very good. And of course it's winter. So all the rest need iron tools and stuff. So the only thing I can do is community needs soon. How are we going? Food, we are producing one less than we are actually consuming, and water, we're a little ahead, but not as much as I would like. Hello, what do you want? Working with iron. Chief, since we can now process metals, you can give us means to make tools of our own, so that we can see our daily tasks. We can work without tools too, but this will tire us physically and mentally. And the more often we have to work without tools, the more likely we'll make mistakes and cause accidents. Let's do it. Of course we're gonna make tools. So, you want me to make 65 tools. Okay, well, that will take a little bit. Also now, I do need those miners. And you cannot reach them, so that's fine. I'm permitting through a lot of lumber. And I'm collecting a lot of logs. So let's make another lumber mill. It's better to have more than less. Let's put you here. Let's put a little road here. Yep. An urgent matter. What's wrong? Our unstable living standards are about to consume us. We should strive to keep a close eye on the people's morale. If we don't maintain balance, we can do nothing but watch our home disintegrate. Do something to improve morale within a few days. Increase worker class morale above 40. Okay. Well, it's 30, but we have a negative... We don't have a negative for this. What is... Well, we cannot do tools just yet. So that's the calculation for your health. Can I see what you're missing? Oh, here's the projector. So that should get you workforce 8. Well, I'm not gonna decrease their workforce. I can give them more food, which will be 15, or I can give them more water, which will be 12. So that will be only up by 3. Let's wait for the end of winter and see how we go from there, since there is no time limit. And the fact that they're getting housing should help them. And we have access to services, which is entertainment and stuff. Can we make this yet? We need more lumber. Please make more lumber, thank you. Why is the production 1.8? 30% efficiency. Because of the morale. Okay. What's wrong with you? You have no mushrooms. That's a little bit of a problem. And you cannot collect any of the other ones. So I will very quickly have someone else collect more stuff. And since we cannot have both of them running at the same time, I'm going to make a second soup kitchen. End of year 1. Ooh, we get a review. So, 0 people died from disease, disaster, lack of water or food, 2 new people joined, and 4th birth, 4 births. In the wake of the recent event, the population increased by 2. Okay, I like that. Water and ratios, they are going to be replenished by 91%. Decent. Water was more by 2000 plus, ratios was only 33 plus. Progress 20 structures through development. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap the first episode here. We did the first year, which seems to be about 30 or 35 days in this game. And I'll catch you all on the next episode. Bye bye.